The dangers from the floods of 2 and 3 weeks ago weren't just to homes and livelihoods, but to health too. Research shared exclusively with us shows floodwater that ended up in rivers in the north and south of England contained a disgusting cocktail of hazards, bacteria, faeces and E. coli. Sewage works are the likely culprits. At present, 325,000 English properties are in areas at high risk from this type of flooding, which means they have a 60% chance of being flooded in the next 30 years. But that figure could reach 555,000 by 2055, thanks to a combination of the impact of extreme weather caused by climate change and increasing pressure on drainage systems.
The destruction and devastation caused by flooding is clear to see.
It's all brown stuff inside. I don't know what it is. It smells awful.
But could there be something even more sinister lurking below the surface?
You see it, you smell it as you go past.
David Wilson volunteers on the rescue boat in York. He knows rescuers who say they've become ill after coming into contact with sewage.
It's fairly regular that the manhole covers pop off. When the river levels are high, we just see raw sewage coming, spilling out the manhole covers.
To see exactly what's in the water, climate organisation Round Our Way had samples analysed in a lab and shared the results exclusively with ITV News. Samples were taken from floodwater in a child's playground next to the River Severn, a housing estate near the River Mole and an overflow of the River Ouse. All breached the UK quality threshold for ammonia levels, especially in Surrey.
Here we're looking at the storm tanks at Hawley Sewage Works, and even in moderate rain they simply overtop and form a cascade of sewage down this area here, and we're only really a few metres from a new housing estate. Storm tanks are overflowing.
Here's how it looked recently when Colin took the sample.
Down the service track.
Whilst the lab found high levels of bacteria in Shrewsbury and Yorkshire, they were very high in Surrey. In all three locations, the report showed high levels of E. coli or Clostridia, indicating human or animal waste in the floodwater. In Surrey, in fact, E. coli levels were 1,200 times the satisfactory limit for swimming water.
It may not look actually that bad. So if a child drops a ball in it, it may not occur to people that they're actually walking through a highly infectious, contaminated effluent.
If they were then to touch their mouth or their nose, and that could result in vomiting or diarrhoea, for instance, or if somebody had any open wounds, there could be skin infections.
Thames Water says the flooding was the result of extreme rain, and they're working hard to stop it happening again. But with more housing being built and rain levels and intensity increasing as our climate changes, campaigners are concerned. Back in York, the ooze has flooded the basement of Richard's Cafe 9 times this winter.
It's like one of those chocolate fountains that you get, you know, that sort of colour, that sort of consistency. The only thing that you can do really is, you know, disinfect it off, and it becomes a lot of work, basically.
His takings are down 50% this January, but Richard won't put a price on the safety of his customers. Martin Stew, News at 10.